Hi there! In this course, I want to show you how you can disintegrate your text in Adobe After Effects. If you want to create something like this, first you should create your text in the Cinema 4D, and after that, with Element 3D plugin, we will import our object in Adobe After Effects, and after that, we will animate our text like this. Very good. For creating that, first open your Cinema 4D, and after that, in the Mode Graph, click on Mode Text, and here from this properties, change your text and type the text that you need. For example, VFXRZ. And then from here you can select your font that you want. Here we have many fonts. For example, I want to use this font. Really good. And now for disintegrate your text, you should use in the Mode Graph menu, click on Voronoi fracture. And now click and hold Mode Text and drag and underneath this Voronoi fracture. Now click on this Voronoi fracture, and then here in the source, click on this square button. Okay, when you click on it here, we have point amount. If you increase these numbers, here we can split more our text. For example, if we change it to 800, now we have many pieces for this text. Now click on this Mode Text, and in the caps, don't forget, you must turn on this create single object. If you don't turn on this checkbox, it will be many polygons without filling. And then you should click on your Voronoi fracture and click on make editable. After make editable, here you can see we have many objects. And for example, if you click on this and drag this, you can see a piece of this text. Okay, press Ctrl Z. Now we are ready to import this object to Element 3D. First, in the File menu, click on Save As, and after that, save your project. For example, okay, and press OK. And now open After Effects, and then create a new composition, and in the layer menu, and click on the new, and after that click on solid, and then press OK, and in the effect menu, video copilot, click on elements. Very good. Now from here, effect control panels, select on scene setup, and then this window will open for us, and then click on the import. After that, select your project that you want imported in the Element 3D. For example, this is VFXRZ.C4D. I want import this file. Click on the open. And if you have animation, you should turn on this. And for example, with this, you can load all materials. And for example, bump map and other reflection map, you can import them in Element 3D too. Okay, now press OK. Very good. Now we have this text. And then press OK. Very good. Again, come back to scene setup, click on this scene setup. If you want, add a material to your layer, you should here, for example, in the physical, the material physical, we have some material that just you can drag and drop on your object, and then you can see what's happening now. But for now, I want to use this white effect, drag and drop on it, and then press OK. Very good. And now, right click here or in the layer menu, new group, and then add a camera, and then press OK. And when you click on the camera tool here, you can see our text now. And now for disintegrate our object, when you click on your Element 3D layer and here in the group one, when we open this, I open this group one because in the scene setup, when we open it here, as we can see, group folder is set to 1. Okay, click on this and press OK. And when we open this group one, here we have some options. For now, I need this particle look. When you open particle look and this multi-object, when you open this group, first you should turn on this checkbox. And after that, we have many options here. But for now, I just need this displays, and this displays X, Y, and Z, and scatter X, Y, and Z. Okay. First, change your indicator to end of your animation. For example, I want a start from 0 to 5. Okay, first, drag this to 5, and then add a keyframe for this scatter, and for example this displays, and for rotation random, add a keyframe. Very good. Now when we drag this indicator to here and change these items, for example, if we change the scatter in X, as we can see, it's disintegrate our text. And when we play that, we can see it creates something like this. Okay. Or you can change it from Y. If you drag this, change position of them from Y, or here you can change the position of them from Z. And now again, when we play that, we can see that like this. And because when this indicator will arrive to the end of our keyframes, I don't want exactly like a simple 3D text. I want change it to something like this. For that, first click on your layer is contained element 3D, and after that press U. After you press U, we can see all properties that we add keyframe for them. Okay, now click on this to set this indicator to end of them, and now we can change a little, for example, this place. Or in a scatter, a little in X, a little in Y, and a little in Z. That's good. Now again, when we play that, now we have this animation. It's really good. And here in the rotation random, first click to set this indicator. In the rotation random, drag this keyframe to end of our composition, and I want animate from 0 to 5, and when we drag this rotation, you can see it's rotate each of these piece our this 3D. And now when we play that again, now we have this animation. It's really good. Or you can drag this keyframe. After this indicator, you can change our text. Okay. And for now, I want add some light for this 3D object. Right click here and in new, click on light, and here color white and light type point is good. Intensity 173 is good for now, and press OK. And now click on this X axis and drag this to right. And click on this point light and press Ctrl D to duplicate this light and drag this to the left. Okay, now click on this black solid that contains this element 3D, and then in end of this effect we have render setting. Open this render setting, and in ambient occlusion open this and turn on this enable AO, and now change SSAO intensity, drag this to maybe 20 is good. That's really good. Okay, and in the glue group, when we open it here, if you enable that and change illumination to luminance, we can add a glue to our text. And first decrease these numbers, glue intensity a little, and here we can change the color. and select that color that you want and press OK. And if you want here, you can change glue intensity or glue radius, and other options here. You can just manipulate them and see what's happening with your object. Very good. When we come back to my project here, now I want to show you how you can change your text like this. For example, changing from VFX to typography or tutorial or other thing. Okay, first you should create another two projects about typography and tutorial. For create them, it's very easy. Just here, press Ctrl Z for undo our options. Again, just Ctrl Z. Okay, it's come back to this Warnell fracture and select on this mode text, and in the object change this text. Change it to, for example, typography. Now select on this Warnell fracture and click on make editable, and in the file save as, and now save this project typography, and now press on the save. Again press Ctrl Z for back to this Warnell fracture and select this text and change this text. Very good. Again select this Warnell fracture, make editable, and file save as, and tutorial. Okay, after creating this two text, come back to the After Effects, and from here close this group 1 and open this scene setup, and in the import add typography and press open. Just press OK. Okay, and now we should drag and drop this typography outside of this group folder and change this number to number 2, because I want to use this for animation, and because of that we should change this to another group. This is for group 1 and this is for group 2. Okay, again click on the import, and in tutorial select it and press OK. And here in the tutorial select this 3 to change this to number 3 of group. Very good. Now press on the OK. And now in the animation engine, open it and turn on this enable. Very good. After you enable this animation, these options will visible for us. Okay, first here we can see this tutorial about group 3. For now I'm gonna to turn off show this enable. If you turn off this checkbox, for now I don't need this tutorial text here. Okay, for now when we drag this indicator to here, and now in the animation when you click and drag this number, we can see it changed to this typography text. But for seeing better result, first a little zoom out this camera. Okay, now we should go to group 2. It's about this typography, and then in the particle look, multi-object, again you should turn on this enable multi-object, and then again here we can increase this scatter in X and in Y and a little in Z, and here in the displays we can a little displace them to X or Y and Z, and here in the rotation random we can a little rotate them. Very good. Now come back to this animation engine, and now from 0, when we drag it, wow, it's changed to this typography. And from here, for example, from 6 times 6, add a keyframe and drag it to 7 and drag this number to 100. Now when we play that, change this text like this. Okay. And here in the animate type, we have some option. Uniform, direction. Direction, it's use X and Y for changing this type of animation, or you can use this radial. If you click on the radial and again play that, as we can see, it's a start from center and change this to left and right. It's really cool. And here in the radial option, we have some option about position, or we can change this direction to inward. Now when we play that, it starts from left and right and come to center. Or you can change it to outward. It starts from center to left and right. Really good. And here you can change position from this starting. Okay. After you create and change this to typography, after that we want change it to next text, and for now it is tutorial, and that is in the group 3. But here we have just two options: start group 1 and finish group is 2. If you want change it to another group, we should add a keyframe for start and finish, and here in the animation engine, in the group selection, here we have to toggle hold keyframe. Okay, now drag this indicator to 8, and after that change this start group to group 2, because we want to start from typography, and finish with 3. That is about tutorial. And from here, when we come here, we should turn off this group 1, because this group 1 is contain this VFXRZ, and just we need it in the first our timeline, and we don't need that here. Because of that, when we come to here, we can add a keyframe from this enable and drag it, and when we come to this, turn off this group 1. Very good. And for this animation, we should change it again to 0. A little, just a frame. Drag this. If we zoom this timeline, drag this indicator to a previous keyframe, and add a keyframe again from 100, and drag this indicator, change it to 0. Okay, and now again zoom out this timeline, and now from 8 to 9, drag and change this animation to 100. Very good. And again for this group 3, go to particle look, and again it's like another text. Go to multi objects, turn on, and a little change this scatter X, Y, and Z, and maybe a little change these displays, and a little rotate them. That's really good. And now when we play that from here, we can see it changed that to tutorial. And if you have more this text, you should add your text to group 4 and group 5. Now when we start from 0, and before I start them, I want add a keyframe for this camera. Open this camera, and from start add keyframe for point of interest and position, and select this camera tool and hold right click and go to center of these pieces. Very good. And now drag this indicator, and now zoom out to maybe here. Again, drag this to see what's happening, and after that, from here, add a keyframe for point of interest and position. Drag this indicator, and now again zoom out. Very good. And again change this indicator, and from 8 again add a keyframe for point of interest and position. And then drag this indicator and maybe zoom in. That's really good. Now when we play it from the first, that's really cool. And you can select this camera keyframe and right click on them and click on easy ease for see better this moving. And a little drag this. Maybe a little change that. Very good. And if you want, and if you have optical flares, you can add a solid and press OK. And in the effect, video copilot, add the optical flares, and in the option, if you have preset, you can use a preset. For example, this preset is good. Press OK and change this render mode to on transparent and change this source type to 3D. And then here we can change this optical flares blending, change it to add. Okay, and now when we play that, we can create really cool things in Adobe After Effects. I hope you like this tutorial. Thank you for watching this video and goodbye.